Woohoo! It says we're live. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for November 6th. November 6th is the no, it is not. It's the 310th. There's a 1 in there, but it's not the first one. November 6th is the 310th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 311th in leap years, with 55 days remaining to the end of the year. Yesterday's word was libel, L-I-B-E-L, and today's word is a homophone, liable, L-I-A-B-L-E. A homophone, by the way, is a word that sounds like another word but has a different meaning and is usually spelled differently. So look, you got a bonus word today. Liable is an adjective that means legally obligated or responsible, subject to undergoing or suffering something, especially something unpleasant, used with to, likely, often used with reference to an unfavorable outcome. As I read this definition, I remember growing up that some of my elders pronounced it liable, like liable to. Be careful climbing up there, you're liable to fall. Or don't forget your shoes, there's liable to be stickers out there. Or don't tease that rooster, he's liable to get you. Well, what I know about roosters is that some of them are liable to get you whether you tease them or not, but that's another story. Moving on, I'd like to take a moment to mention that links to my research are included in the show notes. Ask you to go ahead and click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Feel free to, lost my place. Feel free to share this video with the link in your email messaging or social media and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I don't want to miss anything, see? There is a link in the show notes to my This Day in History playlist. You'll find it in the show notes. I'll also put it in an iCard in the corner. And at the end of the video, it will also appear on one of those things that pops up at the end. Sometime I'll have to watch that and see exactly where it pops up so I can point it out. And with that, we are going to start with a powerful earthquake that destroyed large portions of the wall of Constantinople on November 6, 447 AD. This is the birthday of Charles Henry Dow, born November 6, 1851. He co-founded Dow Jones and Company and also co-founded the Wall Street Journal and invented the Dow Jones Industrial Average as he was researching market movements. A school of thought known as technical analysis in studying stocks developed as a result of Charles Dow's work. He died at a relatively young age of 51. He had a heart attack. This is the birthday of American composer John Philip Sousa, born November 6, 1854. Known as the American March King, he wrote such marches as the Stars and Stripes Forever and Semper Fidelis, the official march of the United States Marine Corps. John Philip Sousa lived to the age of 77. Abraham Lincoln was elected 16th President of the United States on November 6, 1860. Jefferson Davis was elected the Confederate President on November 6, 1861. Good day for birthdays. This is the birthday of James Naismith, inventor of the game of basketball. Dr. Naismith was born on November 6, 1861, and lived to the age of 78. Also the birthday of baseball great Big Train Walter Johnson, born November 6, 1887. He was one of the first 5 inductees at the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1936, and I just can't help but take a moment here to take a side trip and say that if you care at all about baseball, you really need to plan a trip to Cooperstown sometime in your life. It's a darling little village up in the middle of New York State, and I'm not sure how they're handling tourism right now. I know that they have a pretty stringent quarantine rule right now at the moment. Anybody entering the state must quarantine for 2 weeks. That's really going to put a crimp in tourism. But hopefully things will clear up one of these days. And I definitely encourage you to plan a trip to Cooperstown. It's a lovely village. And of course, the Hall of Fame is something else. They have more than just that, too. So they're at the base of Lake Otsego, which feeds the Susquehanna River. So quite something. Anyway, back to Walter Johnson. He lived to the age of 59. This is the birthday of motivational speaker Zig Ziglar, born November 6, 1926. I actually got to hear him speak in person. What a guy. Zig Ziglar lived to the age of 86. The television show Meet the Press debuted on November 6, 1947. It is, I understand, the longest running television program in history. On November 6, 1971, the United States Atomic Energy Commission tested the largest U.S. underground hydrogen bomb in the Aleutian Islands off Alaska. As recently as 1971. Hope they've stopped doing that. That's scary. But at least it's not up in the atmosphere or in space. Barack Obama was reelected President of the United States on November 6, 2012. And that's all I have for you today. What are we doing on time? Oh man, only 6.5, 7 minutes. I like to make them, about 9 or 10 minutes long, but for some reason, when one of my sources, one of my jumping off places for source ideas is a Wikipedia page. If you just type the date into your search engine, it'll bring that page up or offer that page to you. And it has a long list of things that happened on this day in history and a list of people who were born and of people who were died. And people who were died. Them too. And so I just kind of go through there and see what there is and then click out for more information. But for some reason, the information on today's page was shorter than I would have thought. I know that last year's episode of This Day in History for November 6th seemed to go a little more in depth with some of the items, but I think I got that information outside of Wikipedia. And anyway, some of the same topics are covered in that episode, but a little bit differently. And I think I covered some different things in this one also. That one was more of a podcast type recording because I don't know why. But my viewers said, well, thanks, but we actually like to see you. So I try to make sure I have camera available. So anyway, how are we doing here? We're at 8, almost 9 minutes. Okay. Well, alrighty then. I guess I sure hope you learned something you didn't know before. I know I sure did. I always do. And again, links to my research are included in the show notes, along with the playlist for my This Day in History series. There's lots of people that do history on YouTube, and they're all very interesting. And if you've got or something that you're passionate about, consider doing little videos about it, little short videos. It doesn't hurt that bad, really. And it's a good way to exercise your think bones, expressing what you already know about a thing and researching things that you don't already know. It's been helpful to me. I think this is going to add years to my life for keeping my brain active. So I encourage you to do something like this yourself. if you're interested in doing that. Anyway, let's see. I think we've covered all of the blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Alrighty then. Really and truly, I think that really is going to do it this time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. And now we look for the thank you very much button and the are you sure button. Night, night.